If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, Eminem says he is a guest in the House of Hip Hop, and Birdman says he's making more money now than ever. Hovain says mixtapes are dead, and Diddy brings back the band. Let's talk hip hop. So this is crazy, right? So Eminem recently did an interview with Crooked I, right? Or King Crooked on his podcast, right? And I don't like the way that Eminem does interviews because he always does it with somebody that is on his payroll, right? So they're not really gonna ask those gritty questions, right? Like the last interview he did with Sway, this interview he's doing with Crooked I. So of course Crooked I is not gonna be like a Charlemagne and really ask those questions, right? But Crooked I did ask some questions, right? So Crooked I brought up the fact that Eminem is constantly, I guess, you know, a lot of people, or specifically Lord Jamar, has been saying that Eminem is a guest in the House of Hip Hop, right? Lord Jamar and Eminem kind of been going back and forth about it. Eminem mentioned Lord Jamar on stage. Lord Jamar mentions Eminem in an interview. Eminem mentions Lord Jamar in a song. Lord Jamar mentions Eminem in an interview, right? And it's just back and forth, right? The whole situation is that Lord Jamar said Eminem is a guest in the House of Hip Hop because he's white, and hip hop is a black art form and was created by black people, right? So Eminem is asked the question by Crooked I if he considers himself a guest in the House of Hip Hop, right? And his answer is crazy. His answer is that he says, I don't know if I ever got the chance to address this, but I never said that I wasn't a guest in the House of Hip Hop, right? So Eminem is now saying that he is a guest in the House of Hip Hop, right? Which is insane. Now, I do have to pull Eminem's card here a little bit because he did say that he wasn't a guest in the House of Hip Hop when he said, I belong here, clown, I am the culture. I inspire the Hobsons, the Logic, the Coles, the Royce 5 9s, 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? So he did say that he wasn't a guest in the House of Hip Hop, and as a matter of fact, he said he belongs here and that he is the culture, right? But in this interview, he's saying that he did not say that he wasn't a guest in the House of Hip Hop, that he is a guest in the House of Hip Hop, that he doesn't even care about being the best, right? That he doesn't want to be the king, right? That he came out with a song called Kings Never Die, and in that song he was talking about, you know, kings of hip hop, but he never specifically and explicitly said that he was a king of hip hop. He said he doesn't want to be a king, right? And he says that he understands when people say, all right, just because you sell a lot, that doesn't mean that you're the king of hip hop. Or just because you can rap 4 million syllables all in one song doesn't mean you're the king of hip hop. And not everybody likes that type of rap. And then he doesn't really care about any of that. He just respects the craft and wants to rap in his own lane, in his own bag, right? This is what Eminem said, right? And I'm like, wow, okay, that's crazy, right? This is like Eminem basically backing off of a lot of the comments that he said from before and being a little bit more humble, which is pretty dope, right? He also shouted out YBN Cordae and said that, you know, he's like the next, you know, lyricist up that respects hip hop, which is also pretty cool, man. But do y'all think Eminem's a guest in the House of Hip Hop? Because I do. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
No, it's more money now.
It's more money now.
More money now ever.
All right, so Birdman goes on Everyday Struggle, right? And he's talking about a lot of stuff, you know, still being cool with Nicki, still being cool with Drake, his son, Lil Wayne, everything, right? But academics basically asked him about, you know, because Birdman's been in the game for a while, OG, triple OG, right? So asking him, you know what? How is the money now compared to the money back in the day when you guys would sell 1 million first week? Remember when like 2007, 2008, when Lil Wayne sold 1 million albums first week? And that's not streaming, my nigga. That's going to the store and physically picking up a CD, right? How do you move 1 million people out their crib to go do that, right? So anyway, so Birdman was saying that today in hip hop, the money is actually a lot more than it was back in the day, right? Academics asked him, well, how, right? Because back in the day, like I said, Wayne sells 1 million first week. That's great. That's a win. If Wayne came out and sold 100,000 first week, that would be a complete flop, right? But nowadays, if a rapper sells 100,000 first week, like let's say A Boogie or something like that, everybody's like, yo, that's a huge W. So how is the money more now, right? And he basically, Birdman kind of explains that, you know, the way it is now is that hip hop is it opens up other doors and other opportunities for you, right? So it's not like rappers are getting way more money off of their actual music, but now people are taking rappers seriously as business owners and hip-hop moguls, and they're starting their own record label and signing other artists under them. They're getting endorsements from Nike and Puma and Adidas and all kind of stuff, to where it opens up a lane for rappers to make way more money off of other things because they're using their image as a rapper versus actually getting way more money off the rap itself, right? Which is cool, but things are so different nowadays because of the streaming era, right? I remember like when I was a kid, I used to go pick up mixtapes from like the African on the corner for like $5 or whatever to listen to the new stuff. But now, you don't do that. Now you don't pick, I don't even have a CD player, but the African ain't there on the corner anymore either. But the whole issue is that in order to hear new music, it's either like you gotta go on social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or watch a playlist or listen to a playlist like on Tidal or Spotify or something.
Back then it was mixtapes, now there's playlists. So getting on the right playlist is key and is essential. If you're on a playlist with 20 of the top streaming artists and you're sandwiched in between that, 14-year-olds is gonna let that playlist play. They're gonna play their video games and that's how they discover things now. That's the new discovery. That's the new mixtape. That's the new going outside, this playlist.
All right, that's Hovain, right? Hovain used to be Troy Ave's manager. He also is Flip De Niro's manager now and like a bunch of other stuff, right? He's from Brooklyn, dope ass dude, been in the game for a long time, like 20 years plus, right? And he basically explains that the mixtape is dead, right? And for like a new artist coming out, what you gotta do is get on one of these playlists, like a super huge, playlist, Rap Caviar maybe, and then, slide your artist song right in there, right? So if you got a whole bunch of new stuff and Lil Baby and Meg Thee Stallion and new Drake and all of that, and you put Flip De Niro right there, then people are just gonna let that whole playlist play, and that's how they discover new music, right? So discovering new music is a whole lot different now than it was back in the day. And when I used to rap back in the day, that's what I would do. Drop mixtapes and 50 Cent, Dipset, The Lox, and me, all on the same mixtape, put my shit up in there so that people could hear it by mistake, right? But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
And check this out, before I go on, I made a very, very important decision for making the band. The show is coming back. We have our first auditions in Atlanta next weekend, okay? I'm gonna be watching and judging from my bed at home. I'm sending the Combs Cartel down there. But for clarity, I'm looking for singers. It's time we bring R&B back. Male and female singers. You could be any race, creed, color, sexuality, but you have to be able to sing, you have to be able to dance.
All right, so Diddy is making an announcement from a hospital bed, right? And he also says that he doesn't want everybody to feel bad for him and that he's clumsy, right? He says that he always falls and that this is his 4th surgery in the last 2 years and that he had to get, surgery on his rotator cuff and surgery on his wrist. But now he's having surgery like on his knee or something like that because he fell down again or whatever the case may be, right? Well, whatever, man. Diddy is filthy rich and he can afford to get mad surgeries. Look, he's been working very hard. He's been on tour. He's been eating crazy since Biggie was alive. So his body probably has a lot of wear and tear on it, and he got the money to keep on replacing body parts. So, hey, do what you do, right? But anyway, so he's making an announcement about Bad Boys the band, and he's bringing it back, right? And I also think that his sons, Justin, Quincy, and King Combs are going to be helping him judge this too, right? But he's saying that he's not looking for really rappers or anything like that, but he's looking for singers, right? Like R&B/pop singers, right? He's like, think NSYNC meets Destiny's Child meets SWV meets TLC meets, you know, different like the Supremes, like different R&B groups, right? He's saying that he wants to have the biggest R&B group in the world, right? And that one of the competitions or the auditions or the tryouts are going to be in North Carolina, and that DaBaby is going to be a judge on that, right? And this is crazy because I knew that Diddy invited DaBaby over to his crib like 3 times in the last 3 months, right? There was a video where Diddy's like, yo, DaBaby, you the hottest nigga out here in the game. So I already knew that Diddy wanted to work with DaBaby, but I thought that Diddy wanted DaBaby to like be a Ciroc endorser or something like that, which he probably is gonna be, but also he's getting money with DaBaby because now he got DaBaby judging the band down there in North Carolina, which is fire because that's where DaBaby is from, right? So of course a lot of people are gonna come out just to see him, right? Diddy is a smart ass nigga, right? But let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.